In the early morning hours of August 9th, 2013, a young father from Texas made a desperate 911 call. He said he was out of gas and that someone was chasing him. Minutes later, he disappeared without a trace. For nearly a decade, his family searched for answers until his remains were finally discovered. Yet the biggest mystery remains. What really happened to Brandon Lawson? Brandon Lawson was 26 years old, living in San Angelo, Texas, with his longtime girlfriend and their 4 children. By most accounts, he was a hard-working man, but he had personal struggles. On the night of August 8th, 2013, Brandon had an argument at home. Around 11:53 p.m., he left in his truck, telling his father he was on his way to visit him in Crowley, several hours away. That decision would be the last time his family saw him alive. About 30 minutes after leaving home, Brandon called his brother Kyle. His truck had run out of gas along U.S. Highway 277, a remote stretch of road between San Angelo and Bronte. Brandon sounded uneasy but asked Kyle to bring him fuel. This was the start of a night that quickly turned into one of the most baffling disappearances in Texas history. At 12:50 a.m., Brandon dialed 911. The audio is difficult to understand, but several chilling statements stand out. He said he had run out of gas. He mentioned being in a field. And most disturbingly, he said that someone was chasing him to the woods. This strange call raised immediate red flags. Just 6 minutes later, at 12:56 a.m., a truck driver also reported Brandon's vehicle to 911, saying it was parked dangerously on the road. By about 1 a.m., a sheriff's deputy arrived at Brandon's truck. The truck was there, but Brandon wasn't. Around the same time, his brother Kyle also arrived with a gas can. The 2 men spoke briefly over the phone. Brandon said he could see them, but they could not see him. At 1:18 a.m., during one of their last calls, Brandon sounded out of breath. He told Kyle he was bleeding. Then the line went dead. From that point forward, all of Brandon's calls went straight to voicemail. Through the early morning hours, Kyle and law enforcement searched the area but found no trace of Brandon. By 5 a.m., his brother gave up the search, assuming Brandon had gone into hiding. At 8 a.m., his truck was towed. Days turned into weeks, and despite search parties, dogs, and helicopters, Brandon had seemingly vanished into thin air. For years, Brandon's disappearance fueled speculation online and among investigators. Accident or disorientation. Some believe Brandon, possibly under the influence and afraid of being arrested due to an outstanding warrant, fled into the rugged terrain and suffered an injury that led to his death. Foul play. Others point to his 911 call, suggesting Brandon may have been attacked by someone that night. The mention of being chased into the woods has never been fully explained. Escape attempt. A smaller group of people believe Brandon may have been intentionally hiding from law enforcement, though this theory doesn't explain why his remains were found so close to the area. Each theory highlights the confusion and fear captured in that haunting 911 call. In February of 2022, nearly 9 years after his disappearance, human remains and clothing were discovered near the area where Brandon vanished. DNA testing confirmed that the remains belonged to him. In December of 2024, the family made this information public. By July 2025, his remains were finally returned to his loved ones. Yet the exact cause of death has never been released. Even with this discovery, the case remains clouded in mystery. Brandon Lawson's story is one of the most chilling disappearances in recent American history. A desperate 911 call, a vanished young father, and unanswered questions that still linger. Was Brandon the victim of an accident, a crime, or something else entirely? What do you think happened that night in 2013? Share your theory in the comments. And if you want to see more true crime mysteries like this, don't forget to subscribe to CPC, Crime Psychology Cases.